When the boy followed his mother to sweep the tomb for his father, he accidentally found his father, who had died for 5 years, in front of him. "Mama, I saw." The woman listened and quickly got up to check, but what she saw was just a man's back. At first, she thought her son was missing her father too much, so she didn't put it on her mind. But until this day, when she was a waiter at the bar, she really saw her husband who had died for 5 years alive in front of her. She can't believe she walked up to him and wanted to touch his face, but the man grabbed her hand with a sharp knife. "What? She saw me die? You are very disappointed. Why didn't you come to me after all these years?" It turned out that they were a couple of special love. Not long after they got married, the woman was pregnant with their love. I thought the happy time would go on. However, an accident completely broke their happiness. This day, the woman suddenly received bad news from her family. The company's bankruptcy father was forced to give up. The woman, Wen Yang, panicked for a moment and decided to go back to her mother's house immediately. Before she left, she wanted to tell her husband who was working outside. But she couldn't get through to her husband's phone. This is a new girlfriend gave her an idea. Let her hurry back to deal with the family affairs. She lied that she would help her husband. The woman is already married. She didn't want to ask her daughter-in-law to help contact her husband. But she never thought she had just left. The new girl took a divorce agreement and found her husband. Shi Shengsheng left after he heard the rumor of Liu Xiaozhen's death. "He even killed your child. He said he would never marry a poor kid like you." The man did not believe that his wife would abandon him to beat the child, so he went to his wife to find out the result, but in the process of a car accident, the woman on the other side just returned to her mother's house. "I got the news that my husband died in a car accident, and then I got the news from the housekeeper that my father jumped off the building and committed suicide. Within a day, I lost 2 of my relatives at the same time. A huge blow made him saddened and moved his fetus. In the past 5 years, the woman's son fell ill because of premature labor. In order to pay for his son's medical expenses, the woman worked day and night. Although the days were extremely hard, she would take her son to worship her husband every day, but what she didn't know was that her husband not only didn't die, but also worked hard to become a millionaire. But because of the lie of the new girl that year made him hate his wife so much that when he saw his wife again, the resentment in his heart was ignited again. The woman did not understand why her husband would be so abnormal and saw his eyes as if he had seen his enemy, so he could not help but ask himself where he had wronged him. "Have you ever thought about my child? What? What new system did you implement yourself?" The woman was completely confused by what she said. "I was just about to explain what happened back then." The man then received a phone call from his sister. "We're on. Wait for me at home. I'll be right back." "Wronger, she's been living here for so many years looking for me and Kaisi. Lin Yanan is my wife." The woman mistakenly thought that he had already changed his mind. Since that's the case, there's no need for him to entangle himself. So he turned around and left the room. It is said that those who see this video will leave 3 flowers. The day after tomorrow, you will be rich in the wind and water. But how can a man let him go so easily? Call the assistant immediately. I found the woman's address. I went to the door that night. The woman saw him and panicked for a moment, thinking that he is now happy. If he knew the existence of his son, I'm sure he would take away his son's custody. So he hurriedly hid his son in the closet. That's why he opened the door and let the man in. And he was so guilty. But the man mistakenly hid another man in his room. The door has been closed for so long, the warehouse inside must have been occupied. Mr. Fu already has a girlfriend. My life has nothing to do with you. At this time, the son fell ill. Hardly climbed out of the closet. Want to open the door. The man heard the noise in the room. I thought he was really living with another man. I'm going to open the door and see who it is. The woman was in a hurry to stop him. I just have a new man. How can you have a new one? I have a new man. I can't trust him. His words completely crushed the man's hope in his heart. He had to turn around and leave. Looking at the back of his departure, the woman finally breathed a sigh of relief, but turned around and found that her son had passed out. So he quickly sent his son to the hospital. The doctor told him that his son's condition could not be delayed. He had to do the surgery as soon as possible, but the surgery was a small number. This made him even more bloody. In order to get the surgery done as soon as possible, he went around looking for a part-time job and then found a job as a pianist, but who knew that he was playing the piano in the restaurant on this day. But coincidentally, a man came to dinner with his sister. At this time, the man also noticed him, so he asked his sister to go to the side and wait for him, and he deliberately went ahead and made a mess of him. Then he ordered a song for the two of them. For the sake of his son's surgery, he could only endure the grievance and play it, and the past was also in the minds of the two. They used to be so in love, but now they are only true wind and full of resentment. After playing the song, the woman was ready to leave. You don't have to humiliate me anymore. I will leave this city and disappear forever. Although he hated the woman, He couldn't watch the woman disappear from his own world again, so he immediately proposed to hire him to be his sister's personal babysitter. One can continue to humiliate him, and the other can tie him to his side and watch him at any time. Although the woman is not willing to, when she thought of her son's surgery fee, she could only bite her teeth and agree. However, the first day she went to work, she encountered a big violence, but she was accidentally late for a few minutes, and the man angrily pinched her neck. There is also the theory of eyes. You stole me back then. Throwing away the divorce papers. They even aborted our child with their own hands. This is how women understand that there is a big misunderstanding between them. You can think of how humiliating he is to himself, and think that men have already had a heart to know that two people can never go back. So he pushed the man to say that. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind. Our child heard the woman admit to what she had done. The man couldn't bear it anymore. He cruelly put her on the ground and let her kneel in the rain to atone for the child. So the woman knelt in the rain for a few hours until she couldn't hold her body and fainted. The man was completely flustered. At this moment, all his resentments were dissipated. He hurriedly held her and sent her to the hospital as if she was crazy. I didn't expect the doctor to be a good sister of a good sister. I can't help but blame the man for being alive. Why hasn't he been looking for a woman and a child for so long? Don't listen to my child. My child is 7 years old. He was killed when he was alive. He deserves to die. What nonsense are you talking about? Your child has always been living with Sheng Sheng. Look, this is the picture of Sheng Sheng and her child. Dr. Wen, the child is looking for his mother. I'll bring Miss Zhan here. She is my and Sheng Sheng's child. Bye-bye.